Do you see, my friends? A double diode with a single output. But here we have two basically inputs. Two inputs for this one, two inputs for this one, two inputs. Do you see for this one, guys? Two inputs, one input coming from here, another input coming from here. But we have one output. For example, if we assume that this diode feed the charge IC, this input, for example, coming from the adapter, and this input coming from the battery. From adapter, from battery, we will always get the B+. If we use the adapter, we will get B+. But if we remove the adapter and we use the battery, we will get B+. That's why this is how the double diode works. It's different from the MOSFET. Please pay attention. It's different from the MOSFET. Even in terms of testing, it's different from the MOSFET. In testing, we find two readings between this pin and this pin, and also the second reading this pin and this pin. But for the MOSFET, we find just one reading. Okay, my friends? So let's even make a difference right now between double diodes and MOSFET in terms of testing. I'm going to show you right now, my friends. We need here, I need from you to understand 100%. So let's make it easy for you, especially for beginner. So the multimeter in the continuity option. So let's try this. So guys, the first, okay, zoom in a little bit like this. Okay, my friends. So this diode here, we have a reading with the first pin, another reading with the second pin. Okay, we have two basically readings, same readings, because we have two diodes inside it, as we have seen here. Okay, two diodes inside the double diode. But for the MOSFET, my friend, different. We have just one diode. Let's see a MOSFET here, and let me look for a MOSFET and check it. For example, my friend, here we have some MOSFETs over here. All those are MOSFETs here. All those, we have Q, all those are MOSFET, my friend. Let's test this MOSFET right now and know the difference basically. Okay, let me adjust a little bit the multimeter and the motherboard. As I told you, for MOSFET, it's different. Okay, let's check those MOSFET, for example. Okay, so if I put one probe here in this side, okay, and let's check this pin from source to drain, we get a reading, my friend. From source to drain, we get a reading. But from this gate to drain, nothing. Do you see, my friends? Nothing. Here we get, oh, wow, zero. We get zero. Why? Is it a short? No, my friends. I touch the gates. This is also another kind of testing that you can use. You see, if you want to check if the MOSFET is serviceable, try to touch the gates using the red probe and then check between drain and source. You will get a beep. And after the exact reading. Okay, my friend, this is another test, and basically this is the most reliable test for MOSFETs. Okay, so for MOSFETs, my friend, you can test it by putting the black probe here in the drain and the red probe in the source. You get a reading. Good, we get 500. This is good. But if you want to double check, okay, by checking the MOSFET like this, my friend, 80% the MOSFET is good. But when I touch the gate using the red probe, I inject a little bit current here, so I will get a short. Do you see, my friend? This is a short, but about just 2 seconds. Okay, so this MOSFET is good. Let's check this one also between drain and source. We get a reading about 500. Okay, if I inject a little bit of voltage here into gate, I have to get short. Okay, let's repeat again like this. Okay, check. We get same reading. Basically, some MOSFETs can be blocked. It could be blocked. It could be work. It could be good, but intermittently bad. It could work intermittently. Let's check this one, for example, this one also. One probe here in the drain, one probe in the source. We get a reading 500. Good. This is good. But let's inject a little bit current here in this gate over here. Okay. Let's check, recheck again. Okay. This one is good. 100%. This one is good. This one also. We have 500, about 500. If we inject here in the gate, we have short. This one 100%, but this one, let's check this one. From drain to source, we get a reading. Let's check. Okay. From drain to source, we get a reading. Let's inject a little bit current in the gate. Recheck. We have 500. This one is a little bit, I'm not sure if it's good or not, but it passed just the first test. The first test is this one. The first test for MOSFET is getting 500 reading, but the second test is by connecting the red probe to the gate and then get a beep like this. About 2 seconds, the beep disappears. This is the second test for MOSFET, but this one, it passed just the first test, not the second test. So basically, my friends, this is how you can test the MOSFET. But as I told you, for diodes, double diodes, different. We get here, my friends, 2 same reading. Okay, 2 same reading. Let's see. Okay, again. 540. This one also 540. It doesn't contain a gate. This one doesn't contain the gate. Do you see? If it contains the gate, I will get a beep. Do you see 2 diodes inside it? So in terms of testing, different from the MOSFET that contain the gate like this. So I hope, my friends, that you understand what is basically the purpose of the diode, double diode, and the purpose of the MOSFET. Let's break it down for you, especially for beginner, using theory, and go ahead with other basically information. Okay. So my friend, for double diode, I told you that this is its symbol. Okay. We find some same reading here between this pin and this pin. We find about 540. Okay, drop voltage, and between this pin and this pin we find also 540 drop voltage. Okay, for double diode, and I told you that the double diode is used when the inputs are two inputs. If the inputs are more, we can even use another double diode here, another double diode like this. If, for example, we have 4 inputs, okay, we can use another double diode. Okay, like this, my friend, with another output, basically the same output. Okay, but we have, for example, this is the first input, this is the second input, this is input number 3, and this is input number 4. So we have, for example, 4 inputs from 4 different sources, but we have the output, we need just one output to power an IC. It could be charge IC, it could be CPU IC, RAM IC, etc.